Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are bringing you the next installment of Why'd They Make a Bad Figure as part of this Gamerverse line for a game that I don't think anybody cares about and is still not making its money back in sales. I just read that this morning. Coincidentally, the game is still floundering, and I believe the figures are floundering as well. I have seen a lot of them on the shelves in the stores, and I haven't heard anybody talking about how much they actually like these figures, except for maybe one strange person. I don't know if he was strange. He was strange to me. I didn't know him is what I'm saying. He might have been a strange person. I don't know. Anyway, this is Captain America, which is almost the same figure we reviewed not that long ago, but this time it's in black and gray for stealth suit. Or just stealth Captain America. Still looks like Riot Police, not Captain America. Terribly uninspired design, which is basically a good descriptor of that game. I did own it briefly. Did not enjoy. Alright, let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand. Take a closer look. Alrighty, this guy stands about 17 centimeters, which makes him just about 6 5/8 inches. And I've had a lot of people ask me, why do I always do the measurement before I do the question of the day? And it's a very simple answer, so that I don't forget to do the measurement. I have a history of forgetting to do that when I don't do it first. It's just a thing. And now I'm forgetting to do question of the day occasionally, but I've been telling people it's because I filmed those before I started doing it. That's a lie. Well, it wasn't always a lie, but it has been lately. It doesn't count since I told you I was lying. Okay. Question of the day. Are you guys tired of Marvel things being mediocre because they can just ride off the hype of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which made Marvel super duper popular? I'm kind of feeling that way. I'm thinking the success has been not necessarily a great thing for Marvel in general. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? And do you agree? Let's talk about that in the comment section below. Okay, so here we have the Riot Police type of suit for Captain America, which is unfortunate because it's technically not a bad sculpt. Like, there's a lot of detail in here. It's done pretty well. The proportioning is not bad at all. It looks good in a lot of ways. The thing is, one of those ways isn't being Captain America. This doesn't look like Captain America at all. It doesn't look like a stealth suit specifically. It just looks like black combat gear with a star in the middle. There is nothing. If you didn't know what this was, you would have no idea it's Captain America. Even the star is the only thing that indicates that. That's not necessarily enough. Stars are used all over the place that aren't Captain America. This is not a good character design, character iteration, I guess I should say. Well, either one. But that is not Hasbro's fault, so beyond me mentioning it, we're not going to talk about that anymore. They can't do anything about the character designs. Is the figure good for what it's supposed to be? It is. It's not super laden with paint, but there is paint throughout, and it is mostly clean and well applied and nice and opaque and everything you want it to be. So that's good. The body is fine, even though it's mostly just molded black. It looks good. There's a lot of sculpted detail on here, so good points there. Now we do have this issue of this face and head. I think it's fairly accurate. I don't know for sure because I didn't check again. You guys can judge if it's accurate for yourself if you care. Like, if you're familiar with the game, you're going to already know, so I don't have to tell you. And if you're not familiar with the game, it's not going to matter to you, so I don't have to tell you. But it's technically a decent head sculpt. Like, that's a very human-looking head with decently applied paint. The hair is done pretty nicely sculpt and paint-wise. He has a whole lot of forehead. He looks probably older than he's supposed to because of how far back his hairline is. But otherwise, it's pretty good looking. Now, normally I wouldn't talk about the accessories right now in the aesthetic portion, but I have to point out how god-awful disgusting this alternate head is. Holy... I want to swear so bad without bleeping it out just to convey my discontent, but I won't. But this thing's a piece of shit. It's terrible. It's sculpted terribly. The head shape is nowhere near the same shape as the unmasked head. The paint job on it is terrible. The jaw shape is wrong. The jaw shape... I said that twice. The jaw paint is terrible. Look at the stubble. Look at the stubble on his face. Can you see that? Is that showing up? It should be showing up. Oh my god. Look at the eyes. This is probably the worst thing Hasbro has ever put out. As far as a single piece of plastic goes, this is disgustingly bad. So if you were going to buy this thinking, well, I don't want an unmasked head, I'll just use... Oh my god, don't do it. You cannot use this head and sleep at night. Probably because you'll have nightmares. It's that bad. Okay, so let's talk about the aesthetic some more. The shield, it's another accessory I know, but it's kind of important. He runs around with the bright red and blue shield in the game, even while he's in his black and gray suit. Is that what happens? If that's the case, that's mighty stupid. That's really, really stupid. The front side's painted well enough. The inside has zero paint, it's just lousy plastic. So, is this what happens in the game? Can someone tell me, please? He has a black suit and then a bright red, which is not even a good color, red shield. Aesthetically, this figure went from being decent enough to not very good with that head and the shield. 6 out of 10 for the aesthetic. I'm done. I'm done accepting bad things. All right, let's make a stand here. Okay, accessories. You already saw the head, it's terrible. You already saw the shield. Technically, the paint is clean and the silver is nice, but the red is very pinkish, the blue is not very dark, and the inside has zero paint on it, so it doesn't actually look good. We do have alternate hands. So he comes with a fist hand and a gripping hand on him in the package, and then we also get a gun holding hand and another fist hand. He doesn't have a freaking gun to hold. Let me say that again. He comes with a gun holding hand, which yes, it could be used as a gripping hand, but there is very clearly a trigger on there, and trigger finger, and he does not come with anything to hold like that. Even the shield can't really be held like that. What the heck? 3 out of 10 for the accessories. How are decisions like this being made? Like, he doesn't have anything to grip with either of his gripping hands, and a trigger finger? What the? Oh my gosh. Okay, moving on, because I can't take it anymore. His head, let's talk about the head articulation. It's your classic ball peg on a hinge, and you don't have any lollipop, so that is fine. It leans back, it's a very stiff joint, but it leans back. It gets a little derpy looking, but you can just slide it forward, and that's okay. He can look up pretty well. The stubble on this part of this face, not part, but that face is so much better than the other face, it's not even funny. Looking down, like technically there's lollipop, but only if you expose it. If you just leave it in a neutral, the head sits on the neck pretty well, so that's okay. So you'll be able to pose that around well enough. A little bit of attitude. Shoulders. Yeah, these pads are going to get in the way. They're hard plastic. You can't tuck them in. You can't put them over without really stressing them. So limited range going out to the side. Full rotation. Yeah, that should be fine. Bicep swivel is very nicely hidden. I like that. Actually, I thought it was down here, but it's up there, which makes sense. So that's good. This elbow joint is really loose. This elbow joint, I can't get it to move. Oh my goodness. I guess that's the range we get, which is better than 90. That's fine. It just looked like it was going to go farther. That's what she said? Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. Gripping hand has a horizontal hinge. That's a bummer. Do they both? Yes, all of the hands have horizontal hinges, so the gripping hands are even more useless. Leaning back. Oh my god. There's no sculpt or paint. What happens at Hasbro where decisions are made? Like, is anybody making them? Or maybe they stopped making decisions at that point. They're like, no more decisions for today. Leave everything the way it is. Tomorrow we'll start a whole new set of decisions. I don't understand. But he leans back really far. Doesn't lean forward at all. I mean, not really. Technically he does, but you can see what I mean by that. That's not much. I'm leaning forward more right now, and I'm seated in my chair doing a review, and this is an action figure of a superhero. Waist twist is a waist twist. Hips go not all the way forward. They don't go back at all, out to the side. Good enough. That's pretty good range. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is chunky as all hell, but it works, so I'll give it to him. Boot swivel, which is nicely hidden, so if you don't want to use it, don't. If you do like using it, use it. Ankles go really far back. He does have kind of baby feet, but they don't really stand out, so it's no big deal. They don't go all that far forward at all, really. The ankle rocker is acceptable, but with the boot swivel, it is useful. So articulation is mediocre at best. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. There's too many spots that don't work well. Shoulders, abdomen, hips, ankles. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so this figure, while at first glance looks pretty decent, and I guess if you just get rid of the star on the chest, you could use him as a generic thug figure for your good figures to beat up on if you're doing photography or something like that. I would recommend it for that, even though that means you have to buy a bad figure from Hasbro and encourage them to make more. But it's just not a good figure. Oh god, it's not. Actually, it's getting worse the more I look at it, and I don't want you guys to waste your money on it. Unless for some reason, after all that information I've just given you, you still like it, I would definitely recommend you don't get it. Alright guys, so final verdict on this figure is going to be a very generous 5 out of 10. What a turd. What a dud. What a shelf-warming, peg-warming turd. Dumpster fire garbage. No, it's not that bad, obviously. I gave it a 5, but I wouldn't buy it. Okay, there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have like almost 4,000 reviews on the channel. Plenty of stuff to come back for, so do come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.